It is the will of nature that every so often a precise living chemistry comes together, if only for a moment, and creates energy that will bond for all eternity. If ever the energy deep within a group of people all came together in the same space at the same time, the result would be a synergy, an energy field so great it would cast a new star in the heavens forever. In 1956, a unique group of individuals, many of them but 15 years old, formed a perfect blend of chemistry. Modestly stepping as one onto the basketball court of a school in a humble upstate central New York village, this group played together as a team this one single season, never before and not since. Those privileged to accept being part of an experience as this understand how fortunate it is to be part of a lifelong memory. Capturing the hearts and souls of a community, they simply became known as the Boys of 1956-57. It had been nearly 50 years since one of their own, Jerry Antill, returned to the community, traveling from several states away to lay his dear sister to rest in a family plot. As he stood up to deliver his farewell and eulogy, something magical happened. He looked out into the audience, and there they were, his teammates, the Boys of 1956-57. You see, this team, which hadn't been together in nearly 50 years, had a resurgence of that energy. They were there for him. Very few of them knew his sister all that well, but they stopped what they were doing and stepped out from 50 years as though they had been called back onto the court one more time. After the funeral, family memorabilia was displayed. Much conversation and attention focused toward Michael C. Antill Sr., Jerry's father, and Albert J. Durkee. The two were partners in the largest bakery in the region during the 1930s through the 1950s. As the interest and conversation continued, Jerry was encouraged to research the bakery's history and try to leave a legacy for his long-since departed dad and Mr. Durkee. As Jerry researched the bakery's history, he discovered the enormous impact the bakery had in the region and its significance to so many people. It was also around this time a few of his teammates from the 1956-57 team approached him about meeting with school officials seeking potential recognition for the legendary team. The school officials were more than receptive to the idea and did so honor their team in a special ceremony. But things didn't end there. This energy field had now driven them to give back to the community that so enriched their lives. On a cold February evening in 2009, almost the entire team reunited for one more time, an evening of feast, sharing, and remembrance. It was also on this evening a new legacy began as they unveiled their gift to the community.
After some thought, we came up with a concept that we could kind of kill two birds with one stone with this memorial to Albert J. Durkee and Michael C. Antill, who were pillars of the community, 17 kids between them, you know. The Antills all went to Fabius and the Durkees went to Carnegie, but many of the families either visited the bakery, worked for the bakery, but you know, it was just part of the culture. They sold wheat to it or whatever. So we said, let's do this memorial classic to these great men. And the best legacy we can leave for them is to benefit the school.
I'm involved because I'm a sponsor, and I found out what was going on, and then a bunch of guys who had been on a basketball team a long time ago had this idea, and it was going to benefit the schools. And I just thought it was such a neat thing, particularly this time of year in Fabius. It's just so beautiful with the trees turning. And it was both a look back at history, but also a way to help the community now. I just thought it was a perfect event all around.
I wanted to cut down on the races that I'm doing, so I've been doing a lot of 10Ks and 15Ks. So I wanted to run a 5K. I haven't run one in a while, so it seemed like a good time to run one. I felt great. I felt pretty prepared. I've been doing a pretty high mileage, so I didn't come in really tapered down, but I wanted to run a fast time. So I think I ran 14:20 something, or in the 14:20s. Which was it's pretty good, but I just wanted to go out and hammer it and just go as hard as I could for as long as I could.
Beautiful conditions, obviously. It was nice and cold, so that's ideal for the runners. There was a little bit of a headwind for the first 3 miles, so that made it a little difficult, but the course itself was great. Rolling hills, definitely some downhills and flat parts, challenging, but an appropriate amount of challenge, and just finishing, I was just, I've done one other half marathon in my life, and it was 7 years ago, so to finish that line and feel as good as I did, it was an accomplishment, so I felt really good about it.
We had talked about running the 5K and stuff, and then we kind of changed our minds and switched to the half. So this is my marathon debut. Wasn't really expecting to run, 103. I expected more like 115. Pushing 5:10 pace. But I took it out fairly hard. We went through the 6 miles, and I kind of picked it up a little bit after 6. At 8 miles is when I kind of started pulling away and trying to gap second place, and just kind of held it from there. At about 10, 11 miles, I started cramping up a little bit, but it kind of went away, when I got to about 12 and a half. I mean, it's pretty enjoyable coming across the finish line and, winning my first, half marathon, going up from the mile, the mile races I've been running, and the, 3K races, 5K races.
And at this time, I'd like to introduce the members of the 1956-57 Fabius and Pompey basketball team who were the inspiration for this run. And I would start out with Coach Walt Norris and Assistant Coach Dan Driscoll. Jerry Antill, Marty Bays, Wes Carr, Bob Mawson, Ray Weiner, Tom Wheeler, and Larry Carr.
First place in the drawing went to Homer Central School, and the amount was $542.76, and we will send that check and a letter naming the person who donated the Angel Run. Second, $325.66 goes right back to good old Fabius and Pompey. And the third one goes to Eugene Field Elementary, and I heard somebody say Missouri? That's my dad came from there. I know all about that. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We do things in a big way. We thank you, the board thanks you, the boys thank you, and best of all, Slice thanks you.